Hi.
Congratulations on this movie. Thank you for bringing it to Toronto. I absolutely adored it. It is so wonderful. It made me feel so good. So many questions. So first off, it is based obviously through the graphic novel. You saw that. How did you connect with it? When did you first see it? And then you thought this would make a great film.
Well, it's a long story, but to make it short, I'm a live action director. I have made
Yes.
many live action films, and even before I made Blancanieves, like over 10 years ago, I read this graphic novel and I fell in love with it. But especially when I got to the end of the book, it moved me. And I think it's a rare feeling when you read a graphic novel that really moves you. I made a film called Blancanieves. I made a film called Abracadabra. So a decade went by, and when I had to make my next film, directors, we kind of like procrastinate and we try, oh, I'm gonna wait until I make another one. And I was in my office and I took out this graphic novel again, Robot Dreams, and this time it really made me really moving there and again. And I said, well, let's see if I can make it happen. And my producers spoiled me. And when I went to them with a script of animation, said, okay, Pablo, you every time you make a film is something different. So okay, let's go ahead.
Well, exactly. I was going to say that because all your films are so different. And then you dive into this animation world. I mean, it's not easy. How did you first approach that? You must have been a little bit scared because, again, something new, a great challenge. The way that you did it was so bold and innovative. There was no talking. I mean, but it works so well.
I'm so happy that you reacted that way. I made the film for you, so
I
it's great.
appreciate that.
So, directors are always afraid when we start a new project. So I like the idea to take risk every time. I like the idea of a challenge. I think every film is like a circus act. So let's make it even more complex. So the idea to make an animation film, it was something that I never thought about it, but if I wanted to tell this story with anthropomorphic character with a robot and dog in New York in the 80s, or I made it in animation, or I wouldn't make this film. And I really wanted to tell this story about friendship and lost, and also for me this movie is very important because I live in New York for 10 years.
Right.
So this movie also was my love letter to New York, a city that I love so much.
Yeah, I love it too. And I love taking the journey with these two through some of the places that you take us in New York. It really does speak about friendship, as you mentioned, and it really makes you think. I think a lot of people who are very lonely will really, really identify with this
Mm.
film. I mean, the fact that you can just, okay, I'm going to order a friend, and have somebody who's with me, but yet we see the consequences of what could go wrong when the friendship kind of splits off. It really, really moved me and touched me. I can't imagine that through the making of this film, you didn't have some tears going down your cheeks.
Well, yes, I am Dog. I'm the protagonist, and I'm always the protagonist of my films. I cannot help it. So I live in New York. I had my lonely times,
Yeah.
and I also had my great times. I fell in love, and sometimes the relation fell apart. I fell in love again. So it talks about friendship. It talks about relationships, and it talks also about some people that you lose on the way. So
Yeah.
when we were doing an animation film, before you start the animation, you do like a storyboard and you do
Mhm.
animatic. It's a very basic animation. So I work on it for 1 year, and I can tell you that in this kind of draft of the film, emotion, was there. It's just that the only thing I have as a director is like I don't know if you can call it emotion detector. So if I don't feel it, I cannot expect the audience to feel it. So I have to feel it first. So definitely, I'm the type of director or the type of audience that when I go to the movies, I like to cry, but I like to
Same.
cry. It's almost like I like the catharsis. I like this idea of the crying that it cleans you and makes you feel better. No, that you come. It's like a reset.
100%.
So
Yeah. Yeah,
so
we would get
definitely,
along very well, Pablo. I'm exactly the same. I'll go to movies with you anytime and we can sit and, share
yeah.
Kleenex together. Yeah.
Kleenex. Okay. So yeah, there was a review when we screened it in Cannes. This film
Yeah.
was premiering in Cannes. I don't remember that. I have to. It was a review. Says it's it was go with a lot of packages of Kleenex to Robot Dreams, but also get ready to laugh and
Yes.
get ready to be surprised. I like the idea that film is like you travel in time and you dream awake. So I like the idea of like a journey. Like in a way, you once you pay your ticket, you sit down in the dark room in that seat, and I'm going to surprise you and go to another world for 2 hours. You're going to go to an amusement park, and
Yes.
then after 2 hours, the lights go off, and then you go home, and but you had a good time for 2 hours.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what else connects us is music. And the fact that you chose Earth, Wind, and Fire, September, first of all, you can't not have a smile on your face when you hear that song, right? But their dance moves and how it connects them. Why that song? Why did you hone in on that one?
Wow, the thing is that, it's based on a graphic novel
Yeah,
and it has no words. So it doesn't appear the song September in the graphic novel. Okay, I have a lot of liberty making this film.
yeah,
But there's a moment when I was writing the script that it clicked. The thing is that the book takes place in 1 year and the movie takes 1 year. And in the graphic novel, it had some kind of intertitles that said September, October, November, which I took on the film, but the first one was September. So the moment the song came to me and it was just bingo, I have it. Because it's not that the movie appears the song September once, it's the main theme of the film.
exactly.
It's like if you think about Casablanca and you think as the time goes by. So I like to think that Robot Dreams is like you don't have Casablanca, you have New York, we will always have Paris, we will always have New York,
Yeah,
and instead of as the time goes by, we will always have the song September of Earth, Wind and Fire. And I think we all have places and music that connects to people, and I think that's a big part of how we remember
yeah.
dear people.
100%. Okay, so just to wrap it up, what I love so much the most about this is it's good for, look, everybody can watch this. Kids, adults, grandparents, like it's for everybody. Everybody will take it in a different way. How do you want it to be interpreted by different generations? Do you think that they'll take something different from it, like kids or adults?
Well, I know we get along. We already get along. I agree 100%. I have this theory of the lasagna film. I
Yes.
think a lasagna film is a film that it has a layer for everybody. I think cinema is a popular art. When
Yeah.
I was a kid, I went to cinema. I would watch the same film as my parents or my grandparents. So I don't think they were ages. I like the cinema that is open, that everybody gets their layer. The kids will see a friendship story, and for once they wouldn't have like this kind of like happy ending. And the film buffs will find a lot of homage to cinema. So I think I don't want to exclude anybody. I want everybody to go to see Robot Dreams
Well, we're
and
going
have
to
a
make
good time.
sure. We're going to
Yes,
make sure everybody
you're,
sees it.
you're,
I'm
you're
telling you,
like, it looks like you're going to be like the president of the fan
I
club
am the
here
president
in
of Robot
Toronto.
Dreams. I'm telling you, I've got my signs ready. Go see this. It's so
Okay,
wonderful. It made me
great.
just feel so good. And what a pleasure to have the opportunity to speak with you this morning. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And best of luck with everything. And I can't wait to see what you do next. I'm sure it'll be something completely different.
You're right. And I hope to come back to Toronto and thank you for all your kind words and your support.
Oh, my pleasure. Have a great day. Wonderful meeting you. Thank
You
you.
too. Bye.
Okay, bye bye.